Hello and welcome to Along the Rock, our new podcast. I'm Mark Morris and I'm very pleased today to be able to introduce Jimmy Ferraro. He's the new artistic director, or will be in a few weeks, at the Dixon Stage Left organization in the downtown. I'm going to probably embarrass you a little bit here, but the man I'm talking to, Jimmy Ferraro, will be the new artistic director at Dixon Stage Left, the local community theater group. He won't begin his new job, however, until October 1st, which I think is a real good sign because you're so busy up until that time that you just wouldn't be able to come earlier. Is that correct?
Right up until the last day. I have a show there in Chicago coming up on the 28th of September. And then October 1st, Dixon, here I am.
Here's a little bit about Jimmy's background. And again, this may embarrass you a little bit, but consider it. Jimmy has awards in acting, directing, and producing, not to mention announcing and other related activities. In a career of 50 years plus, he made his Broadway debut in Fiddler on the Roof, directed by none other than Broadway icon Jerome Robbins. He's appeared in more than 3,000 performances of Fiddler. And now I don't know if this is true or not. Most of those as Tevye, the lead role. After 3,000 performances, I'm guessing there may be a little switching of roles here and there, but I don't know. You can tell me. In 2012, Jimmy Ferraro won the Broadway World's Best Actor in a Musical Award. Broadway World, I take it, is a magazine.
Actually, it's an online variety telecast regarding the Broadway business all over the country.
He's also starred in national tours of Man of La Mancha, starred in that. Guys and Dolls, played nicely for those who remember those things. And Hairspray, you played Edna, right?
Yes, I did that in the California company.
All right. He's also had stints in radio, TV, cable, casting as a casting director, finance, and training, which I assume means like industrial films and that sort of thing.
It sounds like I'm 105 years old.
Well, how old are you?
Young at heart, always.
Okay. All right. Well, that's just part of his resume. That's all I could fit on this piece of paper, but there is plenty more. Now, I'm going to ask you the question that everybody has asked me, which is, why would a man with your resume, your background, want to come to Dixon, Illinois?
I'm very excited about making the change from Western North Carolina to Dixon. There's just such a vibrant and dedicated theater community there from all that I've heard and seen, that I'm really excited to be part of it.
You're friends with Scott Battizi, is that correct? Or former co-workers?
Yes, we worked together for many years. And I'm excited about the team with Spencer and Karen and Benjamin. I mean, I'm just delighted to be part of it, of the team.
This is a community theater, as most people around here know. I guess I'm most excited because I think, well, this man has done this for a living for many years. So what can we expect to see in general in the way of works, in the way of performances, in the way of all that?
Great. Well, I'm first excited to be able to do a big fundraiser for Dixon Stage Left. That's going to be on November 16th. It's a show that I authored as well as produced and directed for the past 20 years. It's called My Big Fat Italian Wedding Murder.
I've heard of that somewhere. Was that Chicago?
It's an all immersive musical comedy murder mystery where you are the detective and you solve the crime. It takes place in the 1980s. Big hair, big mouths, loud, stereotypical Italians, and it's the wedding reception for Frankie and Angelica. I can't tell you too much more. You'll have to come see it.
Again, I asked you, Matt, you probably didn't hear me. Was that playing or is that playing in Chicago right now?
It played in Chicago in 2022, and I won the Chicago Post Reader's Choice Award for that show. And it played last year in outside of Chicago. I did it here in North Carolina this past May, but I've been doing the show all over the country for the last 20 years.
Well, that's one example of what we expect to see then. Have you seen the new theater yet, by the way?
I've just seen pictures. It's exciting with the whole build out. Very exciting to have that new venue to come to.
Yeah, bigger space and of course bigger audience space.
Mhm.
And I guess most importantly for a lot of people, first floor.
Yes, very important. Exciting. And we're having auditions too, open auditions. We want everyone to come out and audition for the show. That's going to be on October 4th and 5th at Stage Left Theater, and that's on 105 South Peoria Avenue. October 4th and 5th from 5 till 8 p.m.
Excellent. Audience participation, love it.
Yes, audience participation, but we need to get some fantastic actors, and I know there's so many of them out there. So please come and bring your friends and audition for the show. The show again is going to be at the Elks in Dixon on November 16th. Dinner and show.
You too.
Oh yeah, dinner and show. You're coming to the reception for the wedding of Frankie and Angelica. So be just like you're going to a real wedding. I mean, it's going to be exactly like that, except on the menu is murder.
Not to be confused with my big fat Greek wedding.
Right. No, no, no. This is my big fat Italian wedding, murder. You could find out a lot more information about the auditions and about the show too if you go to the website dixonstageleft.org.
Very good. One example we've heard. Now give us some other examples of how things may, I guess the best way to put it would be how things might differ from the way most community theaters are run.
Well, what I'm excited about is to be able to bring some new and innovative shows to Dixon. Besides Warhorse musicals, like everybody loves, the typical musicals that have been played, but new works as well. So that's very exciting to me to open up a whole new community for Dixon.
I know that Samuel French for years had a kind of a monopoly on scripts. Is that still true, or do you gather from many other places?
Many other publishing houses now.
Can you give us some examples?
Oh, sure. We're talking about Dramatist Play Service, Concord Theatricals, MTI. There's numerous ones that hold the royalties for shows now. But I love some of those, charming war horses, those plays like my Neil Simon's are our favorites, and they still hold true to today, like The Odd Couple and Last of the Red Hot Lovers. People still love them and like to see those shows, as well as new ones too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Simon holds up very well over time. The setup of the theater itself, is it the ceilings high enough to be able to do a full-fledged musical?
Oh, they will be. I can do a musical in a parking lot, so it doesn't matter.
Can I quote you on that?
I can't wait to get there to see it in person.
Yeah. Tell me some more about your background. How did you get into theater in the first place?
Oh my
And
goodness. Well, way, way, way back to
yeah,
I was in at 5 years old. I was in a little recital at my grammar school in Queens, New York. And an agent, unbeknownst to anyone, was in the audience from King World Productions. And at that time, they were looking for someone to play Spanky in the remake of The Little Rascals. After that little program, they approached my parents, but my parents were not interested in soliciting their son for any type of entertainment like that. So that would be my initial. But at 16, I started working in nightclubs. Of course, I had to have my parents with me because I wasn't old enough to be on my own. And that I was very fortunate, living in New York and having those opportunities. But at 16, I was performing at the world famous San Susan in New York and the Plaza Hotel. And that really started my whole career as a singer. And then right then and there, I went into performing in musical theater.
Very good. How long did it take to turn your parents?
Oh, you know what? They were very supportive. They always were supportive. I mean, they were there to give me voice lessons and piano lessons and guitar lessons and tap dancing lessons. So they were always so supportive. My father made sure that he would give his support if I would also take some type of vocational training so that I'd have a real job to fall back on. So with that, I did, and I became licensed as a hairstylist as well. So that was like the thing that I had. I could always go back and fall on that vocation in case it didn't work out. But I've been so blessed with over 50 years in a career of show business that's been unparalleled. Very blessed.
My family, as I think I told you, was in theater in the suburban Chicago area. The thing that kept me away, and I wasn't very good, let's say that first of all, but was the idea that in theater you're always looking for a new job.
Always.
I couldn't bear that thought of always being looking for work.
And you're always putting yourself on the line, you have to have a tough skin to really go through with it for so many years. And I think that's probably why so many drop out. But you have to be tough because it's a rough business. And every 6 weeks or 8 weeks, you're lucky if it's 3 months, you have to look for another job and put yourself right on the line.
Yeah.
So I've been very fortunate to make a career over these past 50 years in show business.
All right. October 1st, that's the day.
Yes, very excited.
Anything else you'd like to tell us about or remind us, maybe?
To remind you that please come out and audition for the show. We're very excited to be welcoming new people that have auditioning. If you've been there before, come out again because I'm very excited about meeting all of you and being a part of the Dixon theater community.
All right, very good. Jimmy Ferraro, the new artistic director as of October 1st, Dixon Stage Left. Still downtown, but in a different, bigger building. Jimmy, thanks again, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Mark. Have a great day.
You too.
Take care. Thank you, Jimmy, and thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Mark Morris, your host of Along the Rock. And again, Jimmy will be here in Dixon as of October 1st. So hope you can give him a good Dixon welcome. And it should be an exciting time for Dixon Stage Left.